I'm Robin Scher-Wells, assistant women's basketball coach here at Davidson College, and I'm joined by junior forward Andrea Robinson. So Dree, 13 months ago, you were diagnosed with leukemia. Walk me through a bit of what's happened since, your treatments, how are you doing now?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed during winter break. I went to a hospital in Charlotte, and then I flew home back to Maryland. Spent a month doing like intensive chemo and therapy and all of that. And then I recovered from that, ended up doing a bone marrow transplant in May, and then got healthy from that, and now I've just been resumed normal life for the most part.
Awesome. So, let's go back, back to that kind of 13 months ago. You were really dealing with a lot of, for probably about, I would say 4 weeks, really dealing with some unexplained pain through various body parts, kind of throughout December, and it kind of ramped up very quickly to the point where you finally went and had some blood tests done and you were diagnosed with leukemia. Tell me what was going through your head when all of that happened, kind of with that diagnosis?
So I was diagnosed and I was like, okay, well, unfortunate. What do we do now? How do we fix that? Let's get a roll on that,
So in just typical Andrea fashion, just really matter of fact, you were kind of okay, what's next?
Now what do we do? Fix that. I believe that you can, so.
That's awesome. Back to kind of what you're dealing with now. Right now you're I don't want to say struggling, but kind of what you're dealing with right now is the chronic graft versus host disease. Tell me a little bit more about what that is, first of all. What have been some of the side effects? How does that impact your daily life?
So I usually tell people, yeah, I'm doing all right for the most part, but what people probably don't know is the chronic graft versus host is basically my donor cells see me as foreign, my body, so they attack my cells. It's kind of like an organ transplant where your cells attack the organ, the donated organ, but it's the other way around with this. So that comes with a couple of side effects. Mainly the one that's bothering me the most now is my taste buds. My mouth has become very sensitive to spice. Not even just spice, just seasoning in general, some acidic things. So I really like barbecue sauce and barbecue. Can't eat that. The honey mustard and commons, can't eat that. Ketchup, that's too acidic. Anything that has more than salt and pepper, probably stay away from.
Sure.
Yeah, so for a while at Commons, I would eat stuff anyway. And you would see me drinking a lot of water, a lot of milk, but I've decided to
You finally stopped doing that?
Doing that, yeah.
Stop putting yourself through that torture a little bit?
Yeah.
So, with the chronic graft versus host disease, if I understand correctly from previous conversations that you and I have had, there's some unknowns to that. You don't know how long that's going to last, don't necessarily know what comes next with that. How do you handle the unknown part, or the unknown nature of this stage of where you're at?
I just take it how it comes. I mean, throughout the treatment, my vision has gone from being blurry to being fine, back to blurry. Right now it's really blurry, I can't really see anyone across campus. And it just comes how it is. I mean, right now I'm assuming it's all temporary. I'm pretty sure it's all temporary. It'll eventually go back to how it was. It might take some time, we don't really know how long, but it is what it is. I mean, it could be worse.
Just kind of living in the moment, huh?
Yeah, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So throughout this past year, obviously, we've all kind of been in this together with you. How's your Davidson basketball family really supported you through this journey?
Oh man, it's been unbelievable. Right when I was diagnosed, the team, you guys were there when I was in the first place, when I got transported back into Charlotte. You guys even came to visit me the first month I was in the hospital or back home. Just been numerous support. People have been posting things on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Snapchat, all these social medias. Everyone's been really supportive. It's been really fun. I'm really glad that I'm back with a great environment. So
we're glad you're back too. And it's been our tremendous privilege to support you through this journey. And I know you inspire each of us daily. So I won't talk too much about that because you know me. I get all like teary-eyed when we talk about it. But, you know, kind of back to last year in January, we hosted an Orange game back in January in your honor, in which we had almost 1,000 fans at the game. Over 600 students attended, in which Coach Gale donated $1 for every student that attended to your GoFundMe fund. We won a thriller in double overtime. Mackenzie Latt wore your number 3 jersey. She scored 31 points, including the go-ahead bucket in the second overtime. What was that like for you to watch that? I think you were still in the hospital at the time, right?
Yeah, I was watching it on my computer.
Yeah, what was that like to watch that, like from afar online, kind of see her go off in your jersey and see all those students there supporting you?
I was just really proud of the school, proud of my teammates. It was really exciting to see like everyone there supporting. Saw lots of posters. A lot of students that like I don't really interact with have shown a lot of support, and it's been really welcoming. It's been very encouraging. I'm really excited that we got that win too. I mean, that was pretty fun, but it was pretty nice to see.
Absolutely, and it shows what an impact you've had on this campus, not just through what you've gone through, but even prior to that. Like, everyone knows you on this campus. Everyone knows Andrea Robinson on this campus. So it was really awesome to see them come out in that way. So this past August, your doctors at Johns Hopkins gave you the green light to come back to school after missing the semester for treatments last spring. So what's it been like, you know, kind of being back in school here this past semester?
Yeah, even before that, like to get here, there was a lot of begging involved, like a lot of, hey, so can I come back now? Like, I feel good, let me go back to school, please. And I show the smile, and my doctor,
it gets them every time.
It gets them. I remember my the first couple of days back, just the transition, it's being around people. My mom was really nervous about me being around a lot of people. She had a lot of questions about it. I'm like, no, it's fine. I promise you it's gonna be fine. It was just the most exciting thing, being back, having my friends around, having the Davidson community around. I hadn't been outside a lot beforehand, so I had to get used to like moving around again, being in the heat, going to class, like studying and learning all over again. But it was just like I never left, really. Like, it was nice to see everyone, and then I was just back in the motions,
That's awesome. So you and I, your first week back on campus, you and I had a conversation, you know, about your class load. Do you remember what I strongly encouraged you to do in that first week?
Oh yeah, I came in thinking, should I take a full course load? Should I take 3 classes? And you're like, yeah, you should totally drop a class. Like, it'll eliminate some stress, you'll have a lot of time. And I'm like, all right, sure. Like, that's smart.
And what happened? So I encouraged you to drop a class, and then what did you end up telling me?
Yeah, so I went to the first day of school, like, went through all my classes, went to the second day, I was like, all right. I was gonna drop a class, but I can't because I love all of these classes, like, way too much. So I'm gonna have to keep them, and it's gonna be a great time, it's gonna be fun, and I mean, it turned out to be a really great semester for me, one of my best, so.
Absolutely, so, you know, you went against my advice, you took 4 classes, 2 of which were physics classes with labs, and I believe, if I could brag on you a little bit, you finished the semester with a 3.75, so pretty awesome. So, I mean, obviously you came back, you jumped right back into things in the classroom, didn't even skip a beat. So really amazing, you know, start back in doing that. So now, you know, you haven't really been given a timetable on your return to basketball. You know, what's your hopes for your future as a Davidson basketball player?
Well, when I got back, obviously I'm not in any shape to play, like run up and down the court. Like you guys can do that for now. But I eventually got to the place where I could start lifting again. And then I was lifting twice a week. I was feeling good. I was warming up with the team. And then I caught a cold, couldn't really breathe too well. And then so that kind of settled down. So it's kind of every day you just see how I'm feeling, see like what I'm able to do. So I see myself, like right now I've kind of taken on the role of like being there, leadership, trying to like communicate and encourage the team, you know, help everyone out with that aspect. But it's hard to say whether or not I'll be back on the court next year. I'm hoping that I can be. whatever capacity that means, at least be able to touch the ball.
That'd be nice.
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
shoot around some, but once I get back healthy and like up to 100%, I feel as though I can have a really big impact on the team still.
Absolutely,
So.
and that's certainly our hope and our vision for you as well.
Yeah.
So last year, a few days before your diagnosis, we were all at the Egg for breakfast. I don't know if you remember this. At this point, you'd really been struggling with a lot of pain. Really had a few tough days. We had the appointment scheduled for you to get some blood work done, so we kind of knew that was coming. The team had dispersed, and it was just you and Kelly Fitzgerald and Mackenzie Latt left at the table, and I was there because I was paying the bill.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like overhearing you guys, and you guys had these cards at the table that had questions on them. Do you remember this?
The trivia questions.
The trivia questions. So a question came up, and you're in the midst of a pretty tough time at that time. And the question was, if there's, what's one word to describe your life right now? And your response was lit.
That sounds about right.
So, and I remember at the time thinking to myself, because I was pretty worried about you at the time, thinking, like, that's just amazing, because this kid's got a lot of unknowns right now, and she's really struggling with something. And to hear you describe your life as lit at that moment impacted me a lot, thought about it a lot since then. So now, here we are, 13 months later. How would you describe your life now?
More lit, probably. I mean, I'm surrounded by the same amazing people. Things have pretty much gone well. They've gone as well as they could. So I'm really grateful for where I am and where I've come from. But it's still pretty lit. I mean, I'm having a great time, so.
You are, and you help the rest of us have a great time to agree. So, last question.
Yeah.
All right, this Wednesday against Richmond. What are we gonna do?
Definitely gonna win. Yeah.